Okay. Trooper Razan. Let's see. I can't hear you again. What you doing? We gonna go through this again? I can't hear you. Okay. What did I do last time? I don't remember. Okay.
Slahi, sir. Can you hear me?
Okay. I can hear you now.
Okay, that was
Shalom, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shabrakatah. Most High Christ.
Okay, sir.
Family to walk, everything good?
Yeah, my little son, we got to take him to the doctors. Man, he been crying and crazy. Like he don't sleep. So every single time we try to put him down to sleep, he'll sleep for like 5-10 minutes, wake up screaming.
Wow.
So we got a doctor's appointment for him tomorrow, so we're gonna see what's wrong with him.
Okay.
Yeah. I was gonna call you too, because last class you had talked about we're not live, right, sir?
Yeah, we live.
Oh, okay. Okay. So if I could, Baba Gashah, I'll give you a call after the class.
Yeah, Most High
Just
Christ.
needed some advice on some stuff.
No sweat.
Okay, sir.
Okay. The water for jumping into the class. I got Sister KJ. Shalom, Yahweh Shemal Alathon by Hashem Yahweh Shah. Trooper Mashah. Okay. Out of Fort Myers. Shalom, Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shah Barakatah to you. Okay. We'll give everybody a few more minutes to jump into the class. Okay. This is obviously, well, I don't know how obvious it is, but this is the Florida law class. Okay. We get it in every Wednesday. Okay. We push to Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians that we should be keeping the law, statutes, and commandments of the Black God, okay, Yahweh in the Hebrew, okay? Okay, with that, we're the ISUPK, started out of 1 West 125th Street Hall in New York, under commanding General Yohanan. Okay, we are not affiliated with any other Hebrew Israelite groups. Since 1969, the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge has been teaching Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians that they are the true biblical Israelites of the Bible, okay? And we are going to continue that tonight, okay? Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are the Most High Power God, Yahweh, his chosen people, okay? And as his chosen people, there is something we should be doing, okay? Just like when you have a mother and a father in the house, okay, that Father requires of something of you. You have to get up, you have to make your bed, okay? There's certain things you have to do, okay? And that's no different from what our Father, our spiritual Father, Yahweh, okay, has required of Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, known as the lost 12 tribes of Israel, okay? We're lost because we don't know who we are. We don't know what we're supposed to be doing, okay? And the biggest thing that we're supposed to be doing, the bedrock of the relationship between the Hebrews and their Father, is to keep his commandments, to keep what he said, okay? The structure that he laid down for Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians as a family to survive and to flourish on this earth. There's certain things he told us we should do, okay? And that's the only way that we will be able to flourish and prosper on this earth as his chosen people. Because the other side of it is, as his chosen people, we could be on this earth, which we are, but if we don't do what he say, there is a punishment for it, okay? There's a punishment for not doing what he told us to do, okay? So you either get the reward, okay, or you get the punishment, okay? You either do what your Father told you to do, or you go against what he said to do, okay? If you do it, you get rulership, basically, okay? If you don't do it, you get to be underneath all the other nations on the earth, okay? And that's pretty much the basic of the law, statutes, and commandments for Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, okay? We either do what he told us to do and he'll put us on top, or we can go against him, okay, and be on the bottom. We can be the tail and not the head, okay? So real quick, what I'll do just to bring out that point, okay, is I'll go to Deuteronomy. Okay, let's go to Deuteronomy chapter 27 and verse 1. Okay, and I'm just going to touch on this real quick, and then I'll get into what I want to talk about here tonight, which is Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians seeking love from all the other nations. Okay, and our King, Yahushua, he did not do that, okay? Yahushua said that you would be hated for his name's sake. If you love Yahushua and you want to keep his law, statutes, well, not his law, statutes, commandments, but you wanted to be like him, okay? You wanted to be a follower of Christ, okay? You want to be a follower of Christ. You want to say you're Christ-like. You want to say, you know, that you love Jesus, okay? Then Christ said that you would be hated. If you did that, if you did what he did, if you followed his footsteps, that you would be hated in this earth. Okay, he said that 2,000 some odd years ago. And the society of people that was ruling the earth when he said that, basically they're still ruling the earth right now. Okay? The world that was coming up against Yahushua still rules the earth right now. Okay? So if you are doing what Christ said that you should do, and you are a true follower of Christ, you would be hated today. Who is hated in the earth today? Like, I could just ask the question, who is hated in the earth? Is it TD Jakes? Is he hated? Creflo Dollar, is he hated? Okay, what's Joel Osteen, is he hated? Okay, hey, the Christian church, the toe down, rat infested, roach infested Christian church on every corner in the hood, is that establishment hated? No, they're not hated. They're loved. Why? Why are they loved? Because they're not Christ-like, okay? They're not doing what Christ did. They're not following what Christ followed. That's why they're loved, okay? Because they do something different, okay? Christ was a revolutionary, okay? He went against the establishment. He went against the popular thinking that was out in the world, okay? And that's why he was hated. And that's the same thing that we do in the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge under commanding General Yohana. We are being groomed to be revolutionaries, okay? We are grooming ourselves to be cult leaders, okay? In the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge, we are hated because we keep God's laws, statutes, and commandments, and we actually subscribe to what Christ did, okay? Okay, so with that, Trooper Razan, if you would go to Deuteronomy chapter 27, I'm just going to touch on this real quick, okay? And tell everybody how there is an upside and a downside to being under these laws, statutes, and commandments, okay? Of being God's chosen people, okay? Being the men and women who have been chosen to go into a covenant with the Most High Power, okay?
Sir. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Go ahead and read Deuteronomy chapter 27 and verse 1.
The book of Deuteronomy chapter 27 verse 1. And Moses with the elders of Israel commanded the people, saying, keep all the commandments which I command you this day.
Moses gave this commandment to the Israelites, okay? Who are the Israelites? Just think about it, okay? Who are the Israelites? Are they the Chinese people? Are they the Arab people? Are they the Africans? Are they the Caucasian people, okay? No. The Israelites are Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. And Moses, with the elders of Israel, commanded the people, saying, keep all the commandments which I command thee this day. Moses got these words that he's speaking to the people from our God, okay? He got these words from the Most High Power, okay? Drop that and go to chapter 28 and verse 1.
Sir.
These laws, statutes, and commandments are for the Israelites. The same people that is in this Bible, this story that is told that they came out of Egypt, okay? They came out of Egypt. You got to picture that in your mind. These people fled Egypt, okay? Okay? And these people are God's chosen people. Go ahead and read it.
Oh, Con. The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 1. And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all the nations of the earth.
All the nations of the earth. Okay? So our Father is telling us, our God is telling us, if we keep these laws, statutes, and commandments, that he would put us on top of all nations that are upon the earth, okay? A nation is a family. A nation is a race of people, okay? So you have, you have what you got, 11 nations on the earth, okay? Okay, Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians make up one nation, okay? We are one people. And he's telling us if we keep these laws, okay, through the mouth of Moses, he's telling us if we keep these laws, okay, that we would be over all the other nations, all the other families, all the other race of people on the earth. Okay? This is the upside. This is the upside of us keeping these laws, statutes, and commandments. You're either going to keep them or you're not. Okay? So this is the upside of us keeping these laws, statutes, and commandments. And side note, we agreed to keep these laws, statutes, and commandments, okay? So if you read all of verse 28, you'll see we agreed to keep these laws. We went into this covenant with our God, okay? He chose Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, okay, to be his chosen people. And we agreed that we would keep these laws, statutes, and commandments and do what he told us to do, okay? That way, we would be over all the other nations of the earth, but at the same time, there was something we had to do. We had to be his servants, okay? We had to establish his word in the earth, okay? We had to lay down the law. It was up to us to do it. And if we didn't do it, drop down to verse 15.
Con. Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
If you break this contract, if you do not do what our power, our Father, our God told us to do, that we agreed to do, keep reading.
Con. To observe, to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
Right. These curses. So now if we don't do what our power told us to do, the power that protects us, okay? There's a power that protects Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, okay? How do you think we got out of Egypt? Okay, how do you think we got into Egypt? Okay, so there's a power that is rolling with Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, okay? And he told us if we keep these laws, statutes, and commandments, that he would be our power and make us dominant over all the other people, races, nations on the earth, okay? And listen, we didn't do it. And we ended up, if you read this, you go ahead and read it on your own, okay? Chapter 28, it's going to tell you that he said if we didn't do it, he would put us into slavery with ships, cargo slave ships. You can't tell me any other race, nation of people who went into slavery with cargo slave ships other than blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, okay? The transatlantic trade slave, okay? Slave trade, okay? Only black people went through that. Only so-called Hispanic people went through that, and so-called indigenous Indian people went through that, okay? And we went through that because we didn't do what we said we would do with our Father, okay? We didn't keep these laws, okay? We wanted to do something else, okay? And if you think about it, okay, the Lord chose blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, okay? He chose us to be a nation. He chose Jacob, okay, whose name was changed to Israel, who came into Egypt. He chose him to establish this covenant. You don't think there was other blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians around, but he chose a certain bloodline. Okay, he started something new. Okay, this bloodline through Jacob, he started and said, these are going to be my people. Okay, you know what I mean? So that's how he established the 12 tribes of Israel. And we have a responsibility, a duty to keep with our God, our power, okay? Okay, so you could drop that. And what I want to do is go ahead. I want to pull some scriptures. Okay, I'm going to pull out a few scriptures in the Bible. Okay, that is going to show that blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, if they follow Christ, that they would be hated just like he was. Christ has not returned yet, okay? Since Christ died on the cross, okay, and said he would return, but until he returned, there was something we were supposed to do. And he said, if you do this, guess what? You're going to be hated for my name's sake. This is what Christ said. He said, if you're doing what I did and following me, you would be hated, okay, on the earth, okay? He said you would be hated. So I want to pull some scriptures just showing how he said that, and then ask the question, who's hated in the earth? Christ hasn't returned yet, okay? Since he left, nothing has changed, okay? He sent out disciples to preach, you know what I mean, his word and bring people into the truth, okay? But those people that he sent out, he said they will be hated for his name's sake if they were doing what he said to do, if they were following the law, statutes, commandments like he did, if they were keeping the Passover like he kept the Passover, okay, and the Feast of Unleavened Bread, okay? So with that, listen, I want to say, big up to Commanding General Yohana for holding this truth down, okay? Because without that, we would not be having the 53rd annual Passover coming up this April 15th, okay? In Cocoa Beach, Florida. On top of that, what have you, okay? So listen, we keep the law, statutes, and commandments because we want to usher in new rulership on this earth. It's time for this, okay, oppressor, his time is over, okay? And the only way we are going to usher that in is by turning to the east and praying to the Most High and keeping his law, statutes, and commandments and having him turn his face back to blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, okay? It's high time for that to happen, okay? Because it's I'm done with blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians getting shot down in the streets, okay, being oppressed, okay, in every manner that you could think of, okay, and then they say it's our fault, okay, which, listen, it is, because we stopped keeping we backed out of the covenant that we went into with our power. But guess what? At the same time, when we went into slavery and we start serving our punishment, this oppressor lied to us, okay, and now he want to change, okay, time. He want to change the time and place of everything, the face and time of, you know what I mean, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, and not let us know who we are and what we're supposed to be doing. He flat out lied to us and said he's the Jew, okay? He's Jewish, okay? When blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are the true biblical Israelite Jews of the Bible, okay? We prove that every day in the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge, okay? And tonight, like I said, I just want to bring out how if the world of blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians were keeping the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High Power God, Yahweh, then we would be hated in these times, okay? And there's no one more hated in these times and on this earth than the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge. Nobody wants to acknowledge us. They just want to hate us. Nobody wants to give us, reverence for what we've done since 1969 and bringing blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians up out of the dust, okay, and trying to raise up our nation. They hate us for it. Why? Because we keep law, statutes, and commandments, and we do what Christ told us to do, okay? So with that, let's go to the book of Romans, okay? And with also any brother, okay, any officer, trooper, okay, young man, the link is up in the chat if you want to jump in, okay, and go live with us, okay, and help us bring out this truth to blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians tonight. Go ahead and hit the link and jump in, okay? So with that, let's go to Romans chapter 10. Okay, let's go to Romans chapter 10.
Come.
You can start at verse 1. And big shout out to Officer Thawashah, okay? Most High in Christ. That brother has been holding it down from before I came up in here, okay? That's definitely my big little brother, okay? So go ahead and read that, trooper.
Come, sir. Romans chapter 10, verse 1. Brethren, my heart's desire and prayer for God, my heart's desire and prayer to God for Israel is that they might be saved. For I bear them record that they have a zeal of God, but not according to knowledge.
Not according to knowledge, okay? Not according to knowledge. Why? Because we are lost, okay? Okay, and this truth has been, the other nations have been trying to hide this truth from us of who we are, okay? And they've taught us certain things, ways to live, you know what I mean, that goes contrary to this Bible that we read, okay? That this record that was left to blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, okay? So black people, Hispanic people, and indigenous people, Native Indians, okay, have nobody on this earth has a more powerful zeal to serve a God than those people, my people, okay? But we have been deceived and misled for 400 years. First off, from our oppressor who's been oppressing us, okay, and brought us over here on slave ships. But then he turned around and he took certain people of our own nation and gave them certain gifts to help destroy the rest of the nation, okay? So we have a zeal to serve our God, but it's without knowledge because there's so much confusion. There's so many lies. God loves everybody. You know what I mean? All these lies that have been embedded in this Bible, in this truth, to mislead and deceive the true biblical Israelites of the Bible. Okay, keep reading.
I don't count, sir. I don't count, sir. Verse 3. For they, being ignorant of God's righteousness and going about to establish their own righteousness, have not submitted themselves unto the righteousness of God. For Christ is the end of the law for righteousness to everyone that believeth. For Moses describeth the righteousness which is of the law, that the man which doeth those things shall live by them. But the righteousness which is of faith speaketh on this wise: say not in thine heart, who shall ascend into heaven? That is, to bring Christ down from above.
Right. So verse 4. Verse 4 is where it's at. For Christ is the end of the law for righteousness to everyone that believeth. Okay? So if you just think, you know what I'm saying, that you can just believe, you know what I mean, in the law, but not keep the law, okay? That's not true. Okay? There's something you must do. Okay? You have to do what Christ did. Okay? You have to actually do something. You can't just believe, okay? You know what I mean? You can't just think that you're gonna, you know what I mean, get rulership or be righteous. There's something you must do, okay? And that's what Christ came to show us. Like, what he did is what we're supposed to do. Okay? If you believe in the law, statutes, and commandments, if you believe in the Most High power, if you believe in Christ, then there's something that you must do. Okay? There's a law that you must follow. Okay? Like, the law, okay, so like, just think about like the law back in old times, in the Old Testament. Okay, you thought, okay, I can sin, and all I gotta do is sacrifice a dove or a goat or a sheep, you know, or a lamb or whatever. Christ put an end to that, you know what I'm saying? Like, now you have to keep, you know what I mean? There is no, you go and sacrifice, because why? Because brothers and sisters were sacrificing, and then they would just go back and do the same thing again. And they'd be like, well, all I got to do is sacrifice this dove or this goat or whatever. You know what I mean? And I'm righteous. No, you're not righteous, okay? So now Christ came, Christ said, you know what Christ didn't say it, but Christ is that, you know what I mean? Christ was the sacrifice that if you wanted to keep these laws, statutes, commandments, then you have to do it. And if not, then you would be punished for it, okay? There's no more sacrificing of doves or goats and, things like that, okay? You either keep these laws, statutes, commandments, or you die, okay? Start at verse 6 again.
Khan. Romans chapter 10, verse 6. But the righteousness which is of faith speaketh on this wise. Say not in thine heart, who shall ascend into heaven? That is, to bring Christ down from above? Or who shall descend into the deep? That is, to bring up Christ again from the dead? But what saith it? The word is nigh thee, even in thy mouth and in thy heart. That is, the word of faith which we preach.
Right. That's what we say here in the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge, okay? You don't have to go and bring Christ back from the dead, from up in heaven, or from, bring his carcass out of the cave, okay? The word is the word, okay? These laws, statutes, and commandments. This is what you're supposed to do. These are the words. This is what you're supposed to do. This is the faith, okay? Faith is dead without works, okay? You keep, just like it said in Deuteronomy 28, it's simple, okay? You keep the laws, this is what happens. You don't keep the law, this is what happens, okay? So the word that Christ preached while he was here is the same word that we preach in the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge, okay? The word is right here. You don't have to go and bring Christ back to hear what him saying himself. We're saying it for you. We're saying the same thing Christ said. Keep these laws, statutes, and commandments, okay? Keep the laws, statutes, and commandments, and that's how Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians will get out of their oppression, okay? That's who he came to save. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, okay? The word is right here. What we say in the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge is what Christ said 2,000 some odd years ago. We're not changing a word. We're not adding nothing, and we're not taking nothing away, okay? Keep the law, statutes, and commandments, and that's it, okay? You don't have to try to, you don't have to wait for Christ to return to actually keep the laws, because Christ put his spirit, and the spirit of the Most High is in the earth right now through the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge, okay? We're saying the same thing Christ said, okay? We're saying the same thing Moses said, okay? It's all right here. It's not, you don't have to go and look for it, okay? Just listen to the men who have been raised up under Commanding General Yohana, and Black people will get rulership on the earth again, okay? So with that, let's go to Matthew, the book of Matthew, okay? Chapter 10. Let's go to chapter 10. Okay. We can start at verse 1 and listen. All officers, troopers, and young men that are in the Florida school should be in this class, okay? Should be in the class. And what you want to do is go ahead and jump in the chat, okay? And let's bring out these scriptures, okay, from the Most High, okay, and raise up our nation, okay? Okay, Trooper, where you at? Matthew chapter 10.
Come on, sir. I'm holding Matthew chapter 10.
Okay, go ahead and start at verse 1.
Come on. Matthew chapter 10, verse 1. And when he had called unto him his 12 disciples, he gave them power against unclean spirits, to cast them out, and to heal all manner of sickness and all manner of disease.
Most High in Christ. That sounds wonderful to me. We pray that prayer, okay? We pray that prayer every Sabbath service, okay?
That's a lot here, sir.
Go ahead.
That's what I was just about to ask, because I've been saying it for so long, I didn't know who's.
Right. Christ gave us that authority, okay, to do these things. Okay? Okay, and we pray that prayer that we can actually, be a good servant under Christ and do these things, okay? He gave his disciples that authority. Listen, if you are in the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge, you are a disciple of Christ. Okay? You are a disciple of Christ. So therefore, you have, as an officer, okay, as a captain, as a general, you have the authority given by Christ to do these things, okay? And that's what we are all about. We're trying to be Christ-like. You know what I'm saying? We are trying to be Christ-like. We're trying to be just like our big brother, the King, Yahushua Mashiach, okay? Who doesn't, any normal human being, male, you grow up, you want to be like your big brother, okay?
Oh, God.
You want to be, I don't care, man. Sometimes big brother can be he can be messed up. He can be kind of sideways, but as you know what I mean, you be like, I want to be like that. You know what I mean? I want to be just like that. You know what I mean? And listen, Christ was perfect. Somebody get in this chat or something, tell me Christ was not perfect. Tell me how Christ was not perfect. Okay? And that's what the men in the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge, we strive to be perfect like our big brother Yahushua, okay? And he gave, like, my big brother ain't here no more, but he gave me some authority, okay? So I'm gonna walk around this earth with that authority that he gave me, okay? I'm gonna take that authority and assert it in this earth, you know what I mean? By being like my big brother and keeping these laws, statutes, and commandments, okay? This is who I strive to be like. I don't just say Christ knows my heart or this, that, and the third. Listen, I do what my big brother did, okay? I'm striving to be perfect. It's right here in the book. It's right here in the records, okay? That's what I'm trying to do, okay? And guess what? By me trying to do that, I'm hated by my wife. I'm hated by my mama. I'm hated by my brother and my sister. I'm hated by the world, okay? I'm hated for being like my brother Yahushua. Now I'm hated, okay? I don't have a good so-called family relationship, okay? My wife don't want to talk to me, okay? She ain't with what I'm on. My brothers and sisters say, hell no. My mama say, boy, you crazy, okay? I'm hated. Why? Because I'm doing what Yahushua did. I'm keeping the law. They say, you perfect, goddamn right. At least I'm striving to be. I'm trying to be. If I'm not, you tell me how I'm not. Okay? But that's what I'm pushing for. Okay, ain't nobody perfect. Job was a perfect and upright man. Okay? You lied to me. Christ was perfect. He was a man. Okay? Listen, I'm striving to be perfect. Okay? And that's that. If you hate me for that, so be it. My brother gonna love me. The most high power God of Israel is gonna love me for it because I love him. What's love? To keep the law, statutes, and commandments. Okay? That's that. Okay? Keep reading, trooper.
Salaki, sir.
Go ahead.
Well, I had a precept about perfect.
What you got?
The book of Matthew, chapter 5 and verse 48.
Hold on. All right, so what I didn't do was I have not been putting the precepts in the chat, okay? Salakia to everybody, because I usually do that so everybody could try to keep up with where we at. You know what I mean? Okay, so I'll start right now. I'll put this one in the chat, okay? Matthew chapter 5 and verse 48. That's where you at, trooper?
Come on, Constance.
All right. Okay, there you go. Go ahead and read it. Hold on. Let me flip over and get there with you. Okay, go ahead.
Come on, Con. Matthew chapter 5, verse 48. Salaki. Be ye therefore perfect, even as your Father which is in heaven is perfect.
Right. This is in the book. It's in the book. This is why Yahushua was trying to be perfect. These letters are in red. Okay? Yahushua said he was on the same, you know what I mean? Him, his Father, and the Holy Spirit was one because they were on the same mind wave. They were thinking, they thought the same way. This spirit that we have, okay, is the spirit that Yahushua had. And what's a spirit? A spirit is just a way of thinking, a belief, okay? A vibe, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, what team you on? I'm on this team. We do this, we do that. This is how we do it, okay? That's the spirit, okay? I'm in the spirit of the Most High. I'm in the spirit of Yahushua, okay? And he said they were one because they thought the same. They did, you know what I mean? They wanted the same things to happen in the earth, okay? And Yahushua, verse 48, be ye therefore perfect. Why would Yahushua himself, Jesus Christ, is saying be perfect if nobody can be perfect? If you tell me nobody can be perfect, that means you don't believe what Yahushua said. You don't believe in him. You're not a follower of him. You follow something else because Yahushua said you could be perfect. Jesus Christ said, be ye perfect. He said it out his own mouth. Okay? So why are you not striving to be perfect? Okay? You know why? Because you're not a follower of Christ. You seek the love of this world. You seek the love of your oppressor. You seek the love of your mama and your daddy, your brother, your sister, your auntie, your grandma. And for me, I say, screw all y'all. I love Yahushua. And if you don't love that, then you don't love me. Because that's what I love. I'm in that spirit. Okay, you on another team. This is the team I'm on. I'm on the Yahushua team. I'm on the you know what I mean, the Yahweh, black God of Israel. I'm on his team. And what he want, that's what I want. I'm on that team, okay? And if you're not on that team, then you need to, you know, step aside, get out the way, okay? Because we trying to do something else over here. We trying to be perfect because that's what Yahushua said. It's right here in the book, okay? The words are in red. I'm trying to be perfect. So you tell me, why should I not be trying to be perfect? So I can be loved by you? So I can love Christmas and Thanksgiving and all the crap that you about? I'm not with that. I'm not with that. I'm with what Yahushua was on, okay? He kept the Passover, the Feast of Unleavened Bread. It's right here in the book. Read the records, okay? Okay? That's what I'm on. And if you ain't on it, then listen, you not a follower of Christ, period. Point, blank, range, bomb. That's it, okay? Good precept, trooper, Most High in Christ, okay? Let's go back to where we were, okay?
Most High in Christ. Matthew chapter 10, verse 1.
Matthew chapter 10 and verse 1. 1 second.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
And when he had called unto him his 12 disciples, he gave them power against unclean spirits, to cast them out, and to heal all manner of sickness and all manner of disease.
Right. So disciples, like he gave, okay, Yahushua walked the earth as a man. He gave these 12 disciples, he gave them this authority. But guess what? The disciples turned around and they went out and, you know what I mean, raised up other men and gave them the same authority, okay, under Christ, okay? This is what we have today in the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge. We have this authority to go out, and that's why, you know what I'm saying, you see these videos, you see what we're doing in the earth, okay? We win. That's all we do is win, okay? You try to come up against this school, we win, okay? That's all we do, because Yahushua gave this authority us through his 12 disciples, and Most High Christ, we here today. You know what I'm saying? Keep reading.
Come on. Verse 2. Now the names of the 12 apostles are these. The first, Simon.
Okay, you could drop that. You could drop that. Okay, we know them brothers. They infamous. Okay, they infamous throughout all of Israel. Okay, so as Commanding General Yohana. Okay, the generals, the captains, and the officers. You see what we're doing in this earth. Okay. Drop the actually, if you would, drop down to verse 5. Okay.
Come on, sir.
Chapter 10 and verse 5.
Come on. Matthew chapter 10, verse 5. These 12 Jesus sent forth and commanded them, saying, Go not into the way of the Gentiles, and into any city of the Samaritans enter ye not, but go rather to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. And as ye go, preach, saying, The kingdom of heaven is at hand.
Right.
Heal the...
Yeah, right. No, it told him go to, that's heavy. Like, I love these records, man. Like, you have to pay attention, okay? Verse 6, but go rather to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Go to your family, man. Okay? Go to your family. Go to them blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians and tell them what's going on. Wake them up. Let them know that they can be perfect. Okay? Let them know that they should be keeping these laws, statutes, and commandments. Okay? Go to your house, man. Okay? Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. Okay? That's who you should be talking to. Not Chinese people, not the white man, not Africans. Okay? You should be speaking to blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. Go to your house, man. Wake up your house. Get your house in order. You know what I mean? Clean, get your house clean. You know what I'm saying? Let them know what's going on. That's what blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, that's what is going on, okay? And in the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge, that's what we doing. We trying to get our house in order. Okay. Okay.
It's
It's a
sir.
bloodline. Go ahead.
As you're reading this and as you're breaking it down, sir, it's so heavy. You know, I just wonder, like, what do these Christian pastors do when they when they read this in the pulpit? Like, what are they? How do this is so clear? It's so cut and dry. Like Christ is not. He's saying, don't go into any of the city of the Gentiles or the
Right.
Samaritans. Like,
Right.
they just whip out that tongue and just go and go on an hour rant, going completely around what Christ is saying. And I just thought it was so heavy how clear you was bringing it out, because Christ was very clear as to what he wanted us to do. So,
right. I mean, but here's the point. In those churches, he don't have to break it down, because everybody in that church, nobody wants to hear it. Everybody joins a certain church or a certain denomination, whichever church conforms to what they're doing. If you say it's okay to be gay, I'm joining your church. I'm with that. If you say it's okay to smoke weed, I'm in that church. So he don't have to break this down, because it's not going to be talked about. All that's being talked about in those churches is how you can be gay, how you can be, against Christ, how you can love your oppressor, and all this other stuff. But all you got to do is just pay your tithes and it's all good. That's what's going on in the church. That's what's going on. They're not trying to be perfect. They holding on to whatever it is they're doing. And the preacher is telling them it's okay. He's telling them it's okay. Just pay your tithes. Be gay. You know what I mean? Be homosexual. Just pay your tithes. You know what I'm saying? Smoke weed and cigarettes and everything else. Just pay your tithes. You know what I'm saying? So he don't have to break this down, because they don't want to hear it anyway. Shit, he don't want to hear it. You know what I mean?
Good night.
He don't want to hear it. All they want, like you said, he going to rant. You know what I'm saying? They going to rant. Oh, the Lord love everybody. And, this, that, and the third. And everybody catch the Holy Ghost and this, that, and the third. And everything's good. You know what I'm saying? They come for the emotion part. They come for that emotional high that preacher gives them, that allows them to go and be the worst person that they can be in the earth.
That
we
nostalgia.
don't do that in this school. This school, boy, look at here. That's why, listen, big up to Commanding General Yohana for holding on to this truth, because in here, I've been taught a few things myself. Okay, and listen, you can't come in here with all that bull crap, nigga. You gotta Salakia for saying that word. You can't come in here with all that bull crap, brother and sister. You gotta change your life. You know what I'm saying? That's the whole point of being a disciple of Christ. You go out and you tell them, listen, I know you was taught this, I know you think this, but this is what it is. Now you gotta change, okay? Now there's something you got to do. Okay. And if you don't do it, listen, you either want to do it or you don't. Some things are not as easy as other things. If you got an addiction to crack, you come in here, we're going to help you fight that. Okay. We're going to help you fight your addiction to crack. And it might take a while, but we're going to work at it. We're not just going to say, oh, you can smoke crack, just pay your tithes. You'll be all right, brother. No, we're going to help you get off the crack and get your life right, okay? And serve Yahweh and the Most High the way you're supposed to, okay? Be a good servant, okay? Under the King, our King Yahweh, okay? Be ye perfect, okay?
Come on.
Read verse 5 again.
Come on. Matthew chapter 10, verse 5.
Right.
These 12 Jesus sent forth and commanded them, saying, go not into the way of the Gentiles, and into any city of the Samaritans enter ye not,
That's heavy. That's heavy what you just, because he's saying, all right, I don't know. All right, I don't know if y'all know the geographic of, you know what I mean, of Florida here, but like if you're in Palm Beach County, he's saying don't go over to Palm Beach where Trump is at. Nigga going, Slocky saying that word again. Brother, go to the ghetto, okay?
Lake Worth.
Go to Lake Worth, you know what I mean? And tell them brothers this is what's going on. Keep reading.
Verse 6. But go rather to the lost sheep of the house of Israel.
Right. Go to your house, man. Go to your family. Wake them up. Let them know what's going on. You know what I'm saying? Put some meat on them dry bones. The valley of, you know what I mean, death. You know what I mean? Okay? That's what we're supposed to be doing. We're supposed to be doing what Christ said to do. Okay? Keeping the law, statutes, and commandments. Okay? Our big brother, our King Christ, he kept the laws. Okay? Diligently. So let's drop that. Hold on.
So like you, sir.
Go down to verse 14.
Come on, sir. Matthew chapter 10, verse 14.
Right.
And whosoever shall not receive you, nor hear your words, when ye depart out of that house or city, shake off the dust of your feet. Verily, I say.
Okay, so listen, that's heavy too, though. You know what I mean? Like Christ is saying, don't be offended. Don't be offended when you go to your house. Okay, when you go to your mama, when you go to your daddy, when you go to your uncles, your aunties, your brothers, your sisters, and they don't accept what you're saying, don't let that get you down. You know what I'm saying? Shake off the dust of your feet, my man. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if you can picture that. You know what I mean? Like, you walking out the house and you be like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, kick it back.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
about this. I was cold-blooded, man. Our brother was cold-blooded, man.
Yeah,
he was cold-blooded. He said, don't let that shake you, man, because you know it's going to happen. He's telling you it's going to happen. But he said, when it happens, do this. Because Yahushua, listen, Yahushua went home. You remember he went home and he tried to do the miracles. And he couldn't do no miracles in his own hometown because they didn't believe in him. Because they was like, man, we know you.
Yeah, kind of God.
You David's son, man. Mm-hmm. I watched you grow up, dog. You know what I mean? Like, and now you doing miracles. Now you better than us, huh? All right. You know what I mean? And Yahushua, that was heavy to me when I read that. I was like, man, he can go out. You know, like Yahushua was born in Riviera Beach, but he couldn't do no miracles in Riviera Beach. He had to go to Lake Worth and Port St. Lucie and other places to do these miracles, man. You know what I'm saying? Listen, Christ said, if that happens, man, just shake off the dust of your feet, my man. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like, all right, I'm out. You know, keep it moving. Ain't nobody with that. You know what I mean? They ain't gonna phase me. Okay. You had something you wanted to bring up?
Well, the next verse is even harder.
Okay, go ahead.
Verse 15. Verily I say unto you, it shall be more tolerable for the land of Sodom and Gomorrah in the day of judgment than for that city.
Right. You know what I mean?
Good
like,
night.
Man, Sodom and Gomorrah will have a better chance. That's thermonuclear warfare is definitely going to hit that city. Okay? Because that's what happened. I ain't going to say thermonuclear, but you know what I mean? Fire rained down on Sodom and Gomorrah. You know what I'm saying? That's what's going to happen at your crib. If you ain't, and it's going to happen, but just, do you want to be in the crib or do you want to be on a chariot? You know what I'm saying? That's what's going to happen. You know what I'm saying? Christ was cold-blooded, man. And all it was the truth. You know what I'm saying? Like brothers, we go out every week and they be like, y'all cold-blooded. It's just the truth. All I'm telling you is the truth, man. I'm just telling you what this book says. These are not my words. This is not something I'm making up. This is what the word from the Most High down to Moses, to all the prophets, to Yahushua, it's the same thing. You know what I'm saying? These words right here, keep the law, statutes, commandments. That's it. That's what this whole book is about, keeping these laws. It gives you the laws. Why does it give you the laws? To keep them. Not just to observe them, but to observe them, see them, and do them. You got to see them and keep them. You see these laws, you read them, now go do them. Now go, you know what I'm saying, establish them, do it. You know what I'm saying? Keep the laws. It wouldn't be in the book if it wasn't for you to keep them. You know what I mean? Okay? Most High in Christ for that. The water for that, trooper. So
Most
let's
High in Christ.
that. Okay, let's go to let's go to James, the book of James. James chapter 4. Okay. Let me get there real quick. Okay, the book of James, chapter 4. You go ahead and start at verse 1.
Okay. The book of James, chapter 4, verse 1. From whence come wars and fightings among you? Come they not? Oh, Salakia. From whence come wars and fightings among you? Come they not hence? Even of your lust that war in your members?
Mm-hmm.
Ye lust. Come. Verse 2. Ye lust and have not. Ye kill and desire to have, and cannot obtain. Ye fight and war, yet ye have not, because ye ask not. Ye ask and receive not, because ye ask amiss, that ye may consume it upon your lust. Ye adulterers and adulteresses, know ye not that the friendship of the world is enmity with God?
There it is right there. The love of the world. Okay? If the world loves you, you are going against the Most High. Okay? The love of the world, ye adulterers and adulteress, know, it's like it, know ye not? You don't know this? That the friendship of the world is enmity with God. Okay? Keep reading.
Con. Whosoever therefore will be a friend of the world is the enemy of God.
That's it, man. If you seeking the love of the world, okay, I don't care how you try to spin it, you are against what the Lord, what our God has laid down, okay, through Yahushua and Moses and all the other prophets, okay? Because listen, like I said, when Yahushua was here, ain't nothing changed. The people that ruled the earth when Yahushua was here, they still ruling the earth right now. Okay? That's that world that Yahushua was coming up against. It's still in place right now. Okay? So if you love that world, you don't love Yahushua. you don't love the Most High Power. Okay, this world is enmity against God. How? Tell me, Trooper, how is this world enmity against the Most High Power?
Khan, Salaki, sir, because the oppressor, everything that the Most High tells us to do, the oppressor permits and pretty much promotes the complete opposite in this in his society. So he says that homosexuality is an alternative lifestyle. He says that it he has shows on TV called American Greed, about how folks go out there and they scam people out of millions of dollars and they get 1 week of jail time or something like that, or probation at home in their mansion. I think the most famous one was Bernie Madoff. He was scot-free the entire time, but let you sell, a little ounce of crack. I mean, they coming for your mama's house. They coming for everywhere you made a phone call at. So.
Right. I mean, like what you're saying is right on point, because basically they set you up to do this stuff and then they persecute you for it. Okay? Like they set out to oppress and persecute, kill, and everything else God's chosen people. Okay? And they do that by lying to them, like you just said. They say pork is the other white meat. Homosexuality is a alternative lifestyle. It is. You know what it is alternative to God? It's alternative to God, nigga. I keep saying that word. It's alternative to God, brothers and sisters. Being gay is alternative to God. It goes against what Christ came and taught us, okay? It goes against the book, the Bible. The Bible never said being gay was okay. Like when they say the laws are done away with, we're in the law. Okay, they'll pull scriptures and say, oh, you know what I mean? You can eat this, you can eat that. They finagle their way through scriptures and words. Okay, show me where it say you can be gay. Show me where that law is done away with. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's alternative to Christ. It's alternative to the Most High. Okay? This world is enmity, okay, in the eyes of our Savior. He came to save us and give us a second chance, okay? You got a second chance to actually be able to say, God darn, I messed up. Or I was taught wrong. Okay. Now I got a chance to fix it and change. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And nobody's taking advantage of it, man. Except in this Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge. But we have to go out and try to find the lost sheep. Okay, that's our job. Okay. No matter how few it may be, it's been put up to us to do it, okay? It's been given to us to do, okay? To go out and find these lost sheep who actually wants to keep God's laws, statutes, and commandments.
It's lucky, sir.
Go ahead.
I got a precept I was gonna pull.
For what?
For you had said like the oppressor, he pretty much sets you up to fall into his trap.
Mm-hmm.
Like he promotes it and then he sets you up. So I was gonna pull Ecclesiastes 9 and verse 12.
Ecclesiastes.
Chapter 9, verse 12, sir.
Give me 1 second.
Wanted to know if this was a precept.
Nine and 12. Go ahead and read it.
Khan. The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 9, verse 12.
While you're here, go ahead and read. Start at 11.
Khan. The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 9, verse 11. I returned and saw under the sun that the race is not to the swift, nor the battle to the strong, neither yet bread to the wise, nor yet riches to men of understanding, nor yet favor to men of skill, but time and chance happeneth to them all.
Right. So whatever you're going through, okay, whatever you're going through in this life, okay, on this earth, just realize it's happened to other men and women before too. Also, you're not special. Okay. So you just keep these laws, statutes, and commandments. Okay, and that is how you will be able to get through. Okay, the Lord being with you because you keep law, statutes, and commandments is how you know what I mean? That is how you navigate yourself through this life, okay? And that's your purpose. That's how you were meant to live as a Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian. Keep reading.
Verse 12. For man also knoweth not his time, as the fishes that are taken in an evil net, and as the birds that are caught in the snare, so are the sons of men snared in an evil time, when it falleth suddenly upon them.
Right. Okay, so you're saying, is this a precept to show that our oppressor, okay, sets traps for us to fall into? And when we fall into those traps, he's able to punish us for the traps that he set to us. Okay? For men also know not the time, as the fishes that are taken in an evil net, and as the birds that are caught in the snare, so are the sons of men snared in an evil time, when it falleth suddenly upon them. Of course. Okay. This is definitely saying, you know what I mean, that Black, Hispanics, and Native Indians, okay, that there is a snare set for you, okay? There is a trap that has been set for you, okay, in this evil time, okay? This evil time has been going on for millenniums, okay? And we are still in those times. Christ has not returned. Okay? Christ came to the earth, okay, and he prophesied what would happen and what would not happen. And this is part of that evil that would fall upon Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, okay? That snare, that net, okay, that has been set for you by your oppressor, okay? So that's definitely a good precept, you know what I'm saying? To bring out how, you know what I mean, like, by you trying to join this world and be, you know, part of this world, okay, and conform to, you know, the rituals and what have you of this world, this is what's going to happen to you. Christmas is a snare and a net that has been set for you, okay? Okay, Thanksgiving, New Year's, all these holidays have been set as a snare for you to fall and sin and get punished by your power, okay? So that you could definitely use that. That's a good precept, Trooper. Most High in Christ.
Most High in Christ.
Okay.
Water, sir.
No sweat. Okay. So let's go to John chapter 15. Got a whole slew of them here. John chapter 15. We'll start at verse 1. Let me get there.
Salakia, so you said verse 1?
Yeah, verse 1.
Come on. The book of John, chapter 15, verse 1. I am the true vine, and my Father is the husbandman. Every branch in me that beareth not fruit, he taketh away. And every branch that beareth fruit, he purgeth it, that it may bring forth more fruit. Now ye are clean through the word which I have spoken unto you. Abide
Right.
in... Oh.
No, yeah, verse 3, that's it right there. Now ye are clean through the word which I have spoken unto you. Okay? Like, this is how we change our lives. This is how we clean ourselves up, okay? Through these words, okay? By keeping these words, okay? It's a manual, okay? The book is telling you how you're supposed to live and what you're supposed to do, okay? To establish yourself in the Most High through Christ, okay? This is the word right here. This is how you do it. Let's see what we got. Okay. So, yeah. Okay. So this is, you can't just be, you know what I mean? Like, okay, listen, you messed up, okay? You grew up in a society that was contrary to the law, statutes, and commandments. But once you hear this word, okay, once you hear the truth, okay, you have to clean yourself up, okay? That's being a disciple of Christ, okay? You have to come into the truth, okay, and keep these laws, statutes, and commandments. That's how you're going to be clean. This is how you change your life, okay? Not just by, you know what I mean, saying God knows your heart, you know what I mean? And, you know, Jesus knows, you know what I mean, like the blood of Jesus, you know what I mean? Like, You know how much blood is it going to take for you to change your life? Okay. So I just wanted to bring that one out. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is how you change your life. This is how you clean yourself up, by these words. You hear the words and you do them. Okay. It's an action. Okay. You hear the word and you know what I mean? Like, you do them. You keep the word. Not just hear it, you have to do it. Okay. This is how you get yourself right. Not by being stubborn and just staying stuck in what you've been doing for, your whole life. I don't care how old you are. You can be 40 something, 30 something, 50 something, 60 something. But once you hear this truth and get the real breakdown, this is how you change your life. Okay. This is it right here. The words. Okay. So let's drop that. Let's go to I'm trying to stay in the New Testament, okay, so we can see this is what Christ said, okay? That's my theme tonight, what Christ said, what he went through, what he said, what he went through is what you should be going through, okay? So let's go back to Matthew chapter 24, okay?
Okay.
Matthew chapter 24. And let's go to verse 8.
Hold
Hold on.
Book of Matthew.
Go ahead.
The book of Matthew, chapter 24 and verse 8. All these are the beginning of sorrows. Then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted, and shall kill you. And ye shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake.
This is what Christ said. Okay. Christ told his disciples this. His disciples passed it on to the new men that they went and raised up. Okay, all the way down to Commanding General Yohana, all the way down to the troopers and the young men right now today. Okay. Christ said that you will be hated for his name's sake. Okay. By keeping these laws, statutes, and commandments and doing what the Most High Power said to do, that you would be hated. Okay. Christ said that was going to happen. And Christ has not returned yet. So this is still the word that should be being, adhered to today. Okay. Christ said you would be hated until he returned, until blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians established their rulership on this earth. Anybody who keeps these laws, statutes, and commandments and do what Christ did is going to be hated. Okay. So if you are loved by this world, like T.D. Jakes and Creflo Dollar and your mama and your grandmama and your brother and your sister and anybody else who's in the Christian church or the Muslim mosque and not in the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge, they are not true followers of Christ, okay? Because they are loved, okay? The Islam community is loved on the earth today, okay? Okay, the Christian church is loved on the earth today. They are not hated like the men and women in the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge. Okay, keep reading.
Come. Verse 10. And then shall many be offended, and shall betray one another, and shall hate one another. And many false prophets shall rise, and shall deceive many. And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. But he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved.
Right. You fight through all this stuff that Yahushua just laid down, okay? What did he say? He said, many should be offended, okay? Like, we experience that every week when we go out on the streets and speak at camp. Many people are offended when we say you can't be gay, you can't smoke weed, you can't smoke cigarettes, okay? You can't love your oppressor, you can't marry outside your nation. Many are offended by us telling them the laws, statutes, and commandments of blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, and because of that, we're going to hate each other. Now blacks, Hispanics that don't want to hear what we got to say hate us. That's each other, okay? Because we're a family. This is one house, okay? Okay, we're gonna hate each other and we're gonna betray each other, okay? Okay, they gonna go call the cops and say these brothers out here speaking aggressively and cursing and doing this and whatever they can think of to try to get you jammed up, okay? But it says in verse 13, but he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved. Okay, so you go through all of that. You go through, you know what I mean, the people on the corner hating you. You go through your white people hating you when they hear what you got to say that you don't want to integrate with them. Okay, you go through your mama hating you, telling you that, you know what I mean, you don't lost your mind. You go through your wife and your children and everybody else telling you that you're crazy and they not with that. You know what I mean? You go through that. You keep these laws, statutes, and commandments until the end, until, you know what I mean, either until Yahweh shall return or, you know what I mean, like you go to sleep, okay? But if you do that and you endure to the end, then you will be saved. Your soul, that person will be saved, okay? When either then or when Yahweh shall returns with the chariots, okay, you will be saved, okay? Not if you just say, I'm going to smoke this weed or I'm going to be gay or I'm going to marry outside my nation, but the Lord knows my heart. You are right, He knows your heart. That's why you ain't going to be saved. You ain't going to make it because the Lord knows your heart. He knows you don't want to do nothing He did and sacrifice the least little thing from other blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians to be raised up and get rulership on this earth. Oh, you only care about your heart, your belly, your mind, your thoughts, your feelings. You. Well, screw you. Okay? I'm talking about keeping these laws, statutes, and commandments so all blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians can, you know what I mean, can have the glory, worship in the glory of the Most High. Okay?
Okay. Salaki, sir.
Go ahead.
I think Officer Shiratazar is in the
Oh, okay. Most High Christ. Hey, shalom, warrior. How about Shem Yahweh?
Hey, shalom, sir. Yahweh. What's going on, True?
What's going on with you?
sir.
You good tonight, warrior?
Kana Wakan. Most High in Christ.
Officer Shiratazar in the house. Okay. My brother. Okay.
My man, 100 grand.
That's it. Why? You've been able to catch up with us. We going through some scriptures. Okay. Like I said, I was trying to stay in the New Testament basically, and and go over what Christ said. You know what I mean? One of the main things Christ said was that if you followed His law, statutes, and commandments, if you were a true follower of Him, that you would be hated. You know what I'm saying? And ain't nothing changed. Christ ain't returned yet. You know what I'm saying? Like what was happening 2,000 plus years ago is still happening right now. The nation of people that was in rulership then, they're still in rulership now. You know what I mean? Christ ain't returned. So what He said is still the same thing right now. You understand what I'm saying? So if you love by this world, okay, that means you are not a disciple of Christ. Okay, you know what I mean? Like, you tell me who's hated more than the scripture we just read. You know what I'm saying? We just read Matthew chapter 24 and verse 8. I'll go to verse 9. Wait, verse 10. And then shall many be offended and shall betray one another and shall hate one another. Okay? That's what happens when we go to camp and we tell them about these laws, statutes, and commandments. We hate it. They hate that. You know what I'm saying? We are hated. They are offended. You know what I'm saying? Many are offended because of what we say. Okay? many are offended by what we say, and they hate it. Okay? So, we're going to drop that one, though, and let's go to, if you got something that you want to bring out, Sharatazak, you know what I'm saying? Just, definitely just go ahead and let me know, and we'll get it, okay?
Okay.
All right, so let's go to Galatians. Galatians chapter 4. Let's see what we're talking about. The book of Galatians, chapter 4. Let me put it in the chat.
Okay, sir.
All right, look like we're gonna be at verse 16. Give me a minute. Let me go look at it. Galatians 4 and 16. Go ahead and start at verse 15. The book of Galatians, chapter 4 and verse 15.
Okay. Galatians chapter 4 and verse 15. Where is then the blessedness ye spake of? For I bear you record, Salakia. Where is then the blessedness ye spake of? For I bear you record that if it had been possible, you would have plucked out your own eyes and have given them to me. Am I therefore become your enemy because I tell you the truth?
Right. That's the question. That relates to the scripture we just read, where it said that that we would be, they would be offended, right? Right?
I don't come, sir.
It said they would be offended, because of the truth. And now here's the question: am I your enemy? Am I therefore become your enemy because I tell you the truth? What you want me to do? You want me to lie to you like the Christian church? You want me to lie to you like TD Jakes? Okay, you want me to lie to you like Creflo Dollar? You want me to lie to you like your oppressor? I'm not going to do that, okay? I'm not doing it. I'm going to tell you the truth, just like Christ did. They wanted to stone Christ on many occasions, just because he told them the truth. Just because Christ told them the truth and broke it down, you know what I'm saying? They wanted to kill him. And they did, eventually they did. But Christ was hated for telling the truth. And who does that sound like today?
The ISUPK, sir.
ISUPK. We are hated because we tell the truth, my man. We tell the truth, okay? There's no, okay? There's no, you know what I mean, this or that. We tell you the truth. We tell you about these laws, statutes, and commandments. We tell you Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are the true biblical Israelites. We tell you the truth on all aspects, okay? And now, just because I tell you the truth, you hate me, okay? They come to camp and want to, there's many videos where people literally want to fight us. They throw stuff at us, they spit at us, all this stuff, just because we tell them the truth. We lose wives because we tell them the truth. We lose relationships with our families because we tell them the truth. We become the enemy of our own people simply because we tell them the truth. You know what I'm saying? That's like, but the scripture we just read also say if you endure that until the end, then you will be saved, my man. You know what I'm saying? Or sister. You know what I'm saying? You go ahead and just keep keeping these laws, statutes, and commandments, doing what Christ did, being a true follower of Christ, and then you will be saved. Either if you're still here when the chariots come, or you know what I mean, you'll be among the first to be raised up. You know what I'm saying? When them chariots show up, okay? And that's what we're all about in the Israelite school. It's like a universal and practical knowledge, okay? All right. You got anything you want to bring out, Shratazak?
Sir.
Okay, so let's go to bubbity. Let's go to Matthew chapter 5 and verse 1. Matthew chapter 5 and verse 1. Hold on.
Okay.
Put it in the chat. Okay, so again, all we do is, you know what I'm saying, Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. We come out on the streets every week. We have classes during there 5 days a week, and it's all just to show Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians that they need to be doing what the Most High laid down since Adam and all the way up to Jesus, okay? We need to be doing that.
Salaki, sir.
Somebody, go ahead.
Sir, I can't see you on the
That's okay. I got you.
Oh, okay. No sweat.
Okay, I got you on the screen for a reason. Okay. So, Trooper, if you could go ahead and read where we at? Matthew chapter 5 and verse 1.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Matthew chapter 5, verse 1. And seeing the multitudes, he went up into a mountain. And when he was set, his disciples came unto him. And he opened his mouth and taught them, saying, Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are they that mourn, for they shall be comforted. Blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth. Blessed are they which do hunger and thirst after righteousness, for they shall be filled. Blessed are the merciful, for they shall obtain mercy. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called the children of God.
Right. All these attributes, if you Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian, and you obtain these attributes, okay, these are traits of keeping the law, statutes, and commandments, okay? Okay, you keep the law, statutes, commandments, and all these things are you, and is what's going to happen to you. Okay, read verse 10.
Blessed are they which are persecuted for righteousness' sake.
Say it again.
Blessed are they which are persecuted for righteousness' sake.
Blessed are they which are persecuted for righteous sake. Okay, Yahushua said this because he knew it was going to happen. Okay, he knew this was going to be a thing. It happened to him. Okay, it happened to him. He knew this was going to be a thing, and until he returned, he knew it was going to continue. Okay, for righteous sake, like you were going to be persecuted. Keep reading.
For theirs is the kingdom of heaven.
Right, like those are the brothers and sisters that are going to be on top when we do get this kingdom, you know, that the Most High established for Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, okay? Those are the brothers and sisters that would be on top, okay, of this kingdom that we fight for to get out of this oppression that our oppressor has, put up on us, okay? This oppression is long overdue from being over. for Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. So if you down with that, you need to get into this school, okay, Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, and learn how to keep these laws, statutes, commandments, and get our God back on our side, okay? So we would be on top, okay, of all the other nations, of all the other families of the earth, okay? That's the only way it's going to happen, okay? It's not going to happen any other way, okay? It didn't happen for us that's the only way it happened for us when we came out of Egypt. Okay. As soon as we came out of Egypt and we got out there in the wilderness, okay, the Most High say, Moses, come over here, because I got something for you to tell these brothers and sisters. Before they get too far, I'm going to lay it down right now, okay? This is what you're supposed to do, okay? And if you don't do it, this is what's going to happen. But if you do it, this is what will happen, okay? And we did it for a while, and we was bumping, we was jumping, we was on top. And now we stopped doing it, okay? And just like Moses said, you would go into slavery with ships. Negro, it happened. You went into slavery with ships. Now, Yahushua came and said, listen, you keep these laws, statutes, and commandments, and I'll return with, millions of chariots, and we'll get our rulership back. So that's the job of Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, to listen to what Yahushua said. Just like we had to listen to what Moses said in order to get out of Egypt, we listened to Moses. We did what he said. I don't care how simple it was, how mundane it was. You put the blood on this, you do that, you do this. We listened and we did it. But now there's a new Moses on the scene. His name is Commanding General Yohana. Okay, you need to listen to what this brother is saying, okay? Because he's going to help us get back out of this Egypt that we're in today, okay? Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, okay? There's a new Moses on the scene, and his name is Commanding General Yohana. Where you at, Trooper? Keep reading.
Come on. Verse 11. Blessed are ye when men shall revile you.
Right. Listen, Yahushua just said, if men hate you, revile you, then you blessed. You down with me, partner. You my man. Okay, I see you. I see what you're doing. Keep doing it. Keep reading.
Come on. And persecute you.
Right. Go ahead.
And shall say all manner of evil against you falsely.
That's what they do. That's what they do to us. Okay, they lie on us. They say we hate women. Okay, they lie on us and say we hate women. They lie on us and say we are twisting God's words. They lying on us just because we keeping God's law, statutes, and commandments. Just because we rolling like Christ rolled. You know what I'm saying? Keep reading.
Come on. Verse 12. Rejoice and be exceeding glad.
Right. Go ahead.
For great is your reward in heaven.
I can't wait for that one. You know what I mean? When Yahushua come and establish Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, heaven on this earth, great will be our reward. Okay? We won't be just a regular, you know what I mean, Hebrew or Israelite. Great will be our reward. We'll be, one of the rulers in our land. Go ahead.
Okay. For so persecuted they the prophets which were before you. Right.
Exactly. That's what I'm talking about. John got his head chopped off. Okay. Who them brothers that went into the lion's den? Okay. So you think you want to be like them, but you don't want none of the persecution?
Daniel.
It ain't happening, brother. Okay. It ain't happening. You need to be like them, you must be hated. To be like Yahushua, you must be hated. Okay? To be a true follower of God, you must be hated in this world. Okay? It's right there in the words. It's in the book. Okay? If you love in this world by being in the Christian church, then you are not a follower of Christ. Okay? Period.
Okay.
Period. What you got, Sharatazak?
Oh, 12, so I'm just listening, sir.
Okay.
Breaking it down. I'm just taking it.
Don't let me go too far. Okay. If
Come on, you got it, sir. Shit, I'm just listening.
Keep me right. You know what I'm saying? If I'm going off something, you let me know. You say so. You jump in and get me right. All right.
Got
you know
on
what I'm
cut.
saying? All right. So okay.
Salakia,
right.
sir.
Go ahead.
You want me to keep going?
Where
Verse
you
13. Verse 13. Ye are the salt of the earth.
Oh, wait, that sounds good.
Yeah, that's what I was looking at.
Give me some of that.
Karo
Give me
Khan.
some of that.
The book of Matthew, chapter 5, and verse 13. Ye are the salt of the earth. But if the salt have lost his savor, wherewith shall it be salted? It is thenceforth good for nothing, but to be cast out and to be trodden under foot of men.
That's what's happening to us right now, because we lost our flavor. You think you got flavor just by being able to rap or play ball or dress good and this, that, and the third. No, man, the real flavor is right here in the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge. You know what I'm saying? We
That's
rap,
right.
we do all them things, you know what I'm saying? But we got the real flavor. The flavor, okay, is keeping these laws, statutes, and commandments and being perfect, okay? There's no better flavor than that, okay? When you see what we doing and you equate that to flavor, you'll say it's perfect, okay? The flavor them brothers got over there is perfect, okay? Ain't nothing wrong with what them brothers doing over there. It's perfect. They got all the salt, all the flavor, okay? And that's why our oppressor can't touch us, okay? He can't do nothing to us because we got all the flavor, okay? We know how to be in this world, okay? Under our King Yahushua, okay? These other brothers think they got flavor. They ain't got no flavor. That's why they get shot down in the streets. I don't care how much money they make. They still get pulled over, okay, and get beat up and all that by the police because they flavor ain't got no savor. It's Commander General Yohana taught us brothers how to have real flavor. Taught us the sisters in here how to have real flavor. You know what I'm saying? The flavor is right here. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking about. The flavor of being Black, Hispanic, or Native Indian and keeping these laws, statutes, and commandments. Okay? It don't get no better than that. It's perfect. Just like Yahushua was.
Karo Khan.
Let's go to 2 Timothy chapter 3 and verse 1. 2 Timothy chapter 3 and verse 1.
Karo Khan, sir.
Let me put it in the chat real quick. Okay. 2 Timothy. Go ahead. Start at verse 1.
Karo Khan. The book of 2 Timothy, chapter 3, and verse 1. This know also, that in the last days perilous times shall come. For men shall be lovers of their own selves.
Wow. Keep going.
Karo Khan. Covetous.
Mm-hmm.
Boasters.
Mm-hmm.
Proud.
Yeah.
Blasphemers.
Exactly.
Disobedient to parents.
Ooh-wee.
Unthankful.
Mm-hmm.
Unholy.
Okay.
Without natural affection. Truce breakers.
Mm.
False accusers.
Mm.
Incontinent.
Wow.
Fierce. Despisers of those that are good.
Man, like just to run through. Listen, wow. Okay. This is what This is what brothers and sisters are that are not in the truth. This know also that in the last days, perilous times shall come. So, when Christ was on the earth, what did he say these words?
Salaki.
Go ahead.
He said that we shall be hated for his name's sake.
Right, but Christ said these were, these were the last days.
Come.
It's that these have been the last days, you know what I mean? A little before Christ hit the scene and still right now. These are a day until the Most High power is 1,000 years to us, okay? So these are the last days, okay? And in these last days, okay, men shall be lovers of themselves, of their own selves. That being a lover of your own self will prevent you from keeping the law, statutes, commandments. Because you love white women. Okay, you love marijuana. You love being gay. What you love will stop you from coming and serving your power the way you're supposed to serve them, right? And that includes covetousness, okay? Wanting something somebody else have, boasters, you boast on what you do have, okay? Being proud, that's a big one right there. Proud, you know how proud these people are that we try to tell them what's going on? They are so proud of what they have and what they stand on, they don't want to think that they're wrong. They don't even want to reconsider what is happening, you know what I'm saying? Or, how they should change them lives. They too proud, blaspheming. They'll sit there and tell you stuff, you know what I mean? Like what Christ said this and Christ said that, or you said this and you said that. They'll lie on the Lord, you know what I mean? They'll lie on the Most High power just to be able to keep doing what they want to do, okay? Definitely disobedient to their parents, okay? There's a new father on the earth, Commanding General Yohana. You need to listen to that brother, you know what I'm saying? He is a father to all blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians right now. Just like Yahushua was, okay? Okay? Unthankful, unholy. They don't want to be separate for nothing. Mm-hmm. They got to be a part of everything everybody else is doing. Mm-hmm. Am I right, Sharatazak? They got to be part of what everybody else is doing.
Right.
Without natural affection. Like, there is no love. Black, Hispanics, and Native Indians do not have a natural love or affection for one another like we used to. You know what I'm saying? Truth breakers. Okay? All that is what's going on in the Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian community. Okay? False accusers, they lie on us and say we doing this, we doing that. You know what I mean? It's all right here. Despisers of those that are good. Okay? And that's where Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are right now today, just so they don't have to keep God's laws, statutes, and commandments. Okay?
Right.
Okay. You got anything you want to bring out, Sharatazak?
Sir, I'm Tawab.
All right.
You want me to keep going, sir?
What's that?
You want me to finish up?
Yeah, go ahead and keep reading.
Come on. Verse 4. Traitors, heady, high-minded, lovers of pleasures more than lovers of God.
Wow.
Right.
Wow. Lovers of pleasure more than lovers of God. Like, you'd rather have the pleasure of tasting pork than to do what God said.
Right.
You rather have the pleasure of sleeping with a white woman, a Chinese woman, an African woman, rather than do what God said. Like you want your pleasure to be fulfilled, your desires. Like, and people, like, it's so crazy. I'm tired of hearing people say God knows my heart. You're right. Like, if you going against what he said to do, like, you wouldn't even have to say that if you knew if you didn't know what you were doing was wrong. Think about that. If you didn't know what you was doing was wrong, you wouldn't have to say God knows my heart. Does that sound right?
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, if you didn't know what you was doing was wrong, you wouldn't have to say God knows my heart.
Right.
You just this. Somebody say something?
Nah,
I
sir.
think we got a little feedback.
Right.
Let me mute.
You know what I mean? Traders, heady, high-minded, lovers of pleasure more than lovers of the Most High. Okay? That's Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians today. Okay? And what we need to do is we need to come up off that. Okay? We need to stop being so proud. Okay? We need to stop being so proud and high-minded. Okay? And be able to submit ourselves onto these laws, statutes, and commandments. These laws, statutes, and commandments require that you are going to have to give up your lust and your desires, okay? All these lusts and desires that you have been put on you or introduced to you by this world, okay? Like, you didn't know that. You didn't know these lusts and desires as coming out the womb, but they were taught to you, okay? You were taught that God loves everybody. You were taught that it's okay to be gay. You were taught that it's okay to eat anything you want to eat, okay? You were taught to love other nations instead of your own nation. You were taught all these things, okay? You was, for the most part, you was taught these things through violence. The violence of the white man, ever since they brought us over here, okay, raping our women and our men, okay, killing us, hanging us, okay, burning us, all the things that this oppressor did to us was to push white supremacy onto Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, okay? And we've become docile to it. We've become submissive to it. And thanks to the Most High in Christ, Commanding General Yohana has held on to the truth of this book in our history, okay? And he's been able to raise up men that has been able to raise up other men, and we are now in the process of raising up more men, women, and children to come into the true, okay, understanding of the law, statutes, and commandments of our power, Yahweh, okay? You got anything you want to bring out, Sharatazak?
Nah, the one.
All right, most Christ. Okay. The water to you, Trooper Razan, okay, for being diligent, being in the class every week with me, okay, helping me hold it down. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is we're gonna go through the announcements. Okay.
I got it, sir.
Okay, Sharatazak, don't forget to go over the part where, you know, the new rules for brothers and sisters, all right?
Khan Wakan.
All right, go ahead.
All right, so ISUPK security announcements. Rule for new brothers and sisters. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to learn and shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, they are to seek counsel from the heads. Tithes, which is a commandment. Numbers 18 and 21, Malachi 3, 8 through 10, means tenth in Hebrew, ma'ashara. 10% of every penny of any increase goes to the Lord. Priest funds, free will offering for priests, not mandatory. Whatever amount you would like. Upcoming holy convocations. We know it's what's before the Passover, sir?
Oh, Salaki, I had it written
Salaki.
down. We got the
Feast of Purim.
Feast of Purim.
The Feast of Purim. You know the date, true?
Yeah, it's February 15th. Okay, February 15th, 2022. You can find that in the book of Esther, chapter 9, verse 20 through 31.
Feast of Purim, all right? And then after that, the Passover, April 15th. All right, it's going to be in Cocoa, Florida, down here in Cocoa, Florida. You can also check the bulletin in your school for further information. If anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, start wearing all black, boots, shirt, pants, headbands, and scarf. And with that, we want to give a salute to the teacher in the class, Men of Israel. We want to say Amajim. Amajim Shabbat. Amajim Barak.
Yahweh Hashem Yashar Barakatah.
Yajim Ta, hands down. Want to give a salute to sisters in the class. Sisters may stand. Men of Israel. Amajim Shabbat. Amajim Barak.
Yahweh Shamar Hashem Yashar.
Yajim Ta, hands down. Sisters may be seated. Class dismissed.
All right, the water to you brothers, man. I appreciate it. You know what I'm saying?
Most High Christ.
Yeah, I'll be in the class. You know, I'll be getting it in tomorrow night or Friday night, Lashawan Kodash, and then we'll be back in the building Saturday. You know, we'll be getting the Sabbath service cracking and going. You know what I'm saying? So, shalom to y'all, brothers. Shalom, Yahweh Shem Yahweh thumb to y'all. I appreciate you, and shalom, Yahweh Shem thumb Hashem Yahweh to the sisters. Okay, and we out. The water.
Most High Christ.
Water. Most High Christ.